Right, let's dive into something pretty simple. Dates and butter. At first glance, it's just a snack, right?
Yeah.
But trust me, there's a whole fascinating story here, kind of blending history and nutrition and even some cool chemistry. We've got sources here that uncover how this seemingly basic pairing is actually like a nutritional powerhouse with roots that go way back. You'll never look at a date the same way again.
What's fascinating here is this combination was a staple for Bedouin travelers in the Arabian desert. Think about it. Portable, calorie dense, perfect for harsh conditions. It's like nature's original energy bar, perfectly balancing that quick energy from the date's natural sugars with the sustained energy from the fats in the butter.
It's incredible how this ancient wisdom still holds up today. Athletes swear by dates for a pre-workout boost. And who hasn't grabbed a quick date and nut butter snack on a busy morning?
And what's even more remarkable is the synergy between these two ingredients. The dates are bursting with fiber, potassium, magnesium, iron, you name it. And then you add butter to the mix. And you're not only getting those healthy fats, but also enhancing the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, like vitamin D, which is already present in the butter itself.
I'm curious, is there anything specific about dates and butter that makes them particularly good for, say, bone health? I remember reading something about that in the sources.
You're right. They're exceptionally good for bone health. And it all comes down to the synergy of their nutrients. Dates are a good source of calcium and phosphorus, both crucial for strong bones. But here's the kicker. The vitamin D in butter actually enhances calcium absorption. It's like the butter acts as a calcium chaperone, making sure it gets to your bones where it's needed most.
That's fascinating. It's like they were designed to work together.
It really is a perfect pairing, and it's not just about the vitamins and minerals. There's fascinating chemistry at play, too.
Okay, let's unpack this. What's happening at the molecular level when you combine dates and butter?
Well, dates are rich in these beneficial plant compounds, called phytochemicals, but they can be locked away inside the date cell walls, making them hard for our bodies to absorb. But guess what? The fats in butter act like tiny keys, unlocking those nutrients and escorting them into your system.
So the butter is maximizing the nutritional power of the dates. It's like a dynamic duo, working together to keep us healthy.
Precisely. And what's even more interesting is that the type of dates and butter you choose can actually enhance both the flavor and the nutritional benefit.
So it's not just any date and any butter. There's actually a strategy to this.
Absolutely. For example, soft, sticky dates like Medjool or Kalaz blend beautifully with butter. They've got that melt-in-your-mouth quality. That pairs perfectly with the creaminess of the butter.
And you can even personalize the butter, right? Salted or unsalted. Cow's milk, or maybe something more unique, like sheep or goat butter.
Exactly. You can get really creative with it. This actually reminds me of a detail from the sources about how different cultures use dates and butter.
Oh, tell me more. I love learning about the cultural side of food.
Well, the Bedouin people, for whom dates were a vital source of sustenance, have long revered them as a symbol of hospitality and generosity. Adding butter elevated this simple food to a level of culinary sophistication and nutritional completeness. But it goes beyond the Bedouin culture. In India, for example, dates and butter are often combined in sweet dishes like halwa, a creamy dessert made with semolina, sugar, nuts, and spices.
It's incredible how something so simple can have such deep cultural roots.
It speaks to the enduring power of food, to connect us to our heritage, and to the wisdom of traditional practices. And speaking of wisdom, did you know that you can actually spice things up even more? We're talking cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, turmeric, nutmeg. The possibilities are endless.
I'm all about adding flavor and health benefits. What are some of the standout spices?
Yeah.
And their unique properties?
Well, cinnamon's warm, comforting flavor complements the sweetness of the dates and richness of the butter beautifully. Plus, it's known for its potential benefits for blood sugar regulation. Then you have ginger with its spicy kick. That aids digestion and has anti-inflammatory properties.
I'm already imagining the taste combinations.
And one combination that caught my eye was dates, butter. A touch of cinnamon and cardamom, enjoyed with green tea. It's a beautiful example of how culinary traditions can combine flavors and health benefits so harmoniously.
Okay, I'm officially inspired to raid my pantry and start experimenting. But before I do, let's dive a little deeper into the chemistry behind this dynamic duo. I was particularly fascinated by the idea that the fats in butter could help extract those beneficial compounds from the dates.
I'm happy to delve into that. What specifically piqued your interest? about the chemistry involved.
Well, it just seems remarkable that something as simple as fat can actually help unlock all those nutrients. It's like it has a secret mission to make those dates even healthier.
It's not magic, but it's definitely a fascinating interplay of chemical properties. Here's the breakdown. Dates are rich in fiber and various phytochemicals, which are plant compounds with health-promoting properties. However, these compounds can be locked away within the date's cell walls, making them less accessible for our bodies to absorb.
So the butter acts like a key to unlock those nutrients, like it's breaking down those walls and setting the good stuff free.
That's a great analogy. The fats in butter, being lipids themselves, can interact with the date's cell walls, essentially helping to break them down and release those valuable compounds.
And then those fats act like little escorts, ushering those nutrients into our bloodstream.
Exactly. And once those compounds are released, the fats in the butter also help transport them across your intestinal lining, further enhancing their absorption.
It's a double win. The butter helps free the nutrients, and day helps your body absorb them better. Okay, so we've established that combining dates and butter is a nutritional powerhouse, thanks to some clever chemistry. But what about the practical side of things? What kind of dates and butter are best for this pairing? And are there any tips for getting the most out of the flavors? I know the sources has some suggestions.
You're right, they did. First, let's talk dates. While any variety can be enjoyed, the sources highlight soft, sticky dates like Medjool or Kalas as being particularly well-suited for pairing with butter.
Because they have that melt-in-your-mouth quality, I can see how that would blend perfectly with the creamy texture of the butter.
Exactly. Their natural sweetness and gooey texture create a symphony of flavors and textures when combined with butter.
Yeah.
But drier dates certainly have their place too, depending on your preference.
Now, what about the butter? Does the type of butter matter as much? Absolutely. The type of butter you choose can significantly impact the overall flavor profile. Salted butter, for instance, can add a savory counterpoint to the sweetness of the dates, creating a more complex and balanced taste.
So it's like adding a pinch of salt to cookie dough. It enhances the sweetness and makes it more interesting.
That's a perfect analogy. And for those who prefer a cleaner, more pure butter flavor, unsalted butter is always a good choice. It allows the natural sweetness of the dates to shine through.
And then there are all those interesting butter alternatives, sheep and goat butter, for example. Do those offer something different?
They're great options for people looking for something unique, or who may have dietary restrictions. Sheep butter has a richer, slightly tannier flavor that pairs well with the sweetness of dates. And goat butter is known for its delicate, almost earthy flavor, which adds a unique dimension. Let's not forget about plant-based butters like almond butter or cashew butter. Those could add a whole other level of flavor and texture. And some extra protein and healthy fats to boot.
It's amazing how many options there are. You can really customize this pairing to your liking. But we can't forget about those amazing spices. They add so much depth and intrigue to the flavor.
I agree. Spices are a fantastic way to elevate this simple pairing. In terms of taste and health benefits, cinnamon seems like the perfect match for dates and butter, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Cinnamon has that warm, comforting flavor that goes so well with the sweetness of the dates and richness of the butter. Plus, we've already talked about its potential benefits for blood sugar regulation.
And then there's ginger with its spicy kick. It can add a nice contrast to the sweetness and warmth to the pairing. Plus, it's known for its digestive benefits and anti-inflammatory properties.
And we can't forget about cardamom, with its unique aromatic flavor that's both sweet and slightly floral.
Cardamom is a fantastic choice for this pairing. It adds a touch of elegance and complexity to the flavor profile.
This is making me hungry. All these flavor combinations are so inspiring. But before we get carried away, with creating our own date and butter masterpieces, you mentioned earlier that different cultures have unique traditions surrounding this pairing. Can you tell me more about that?
Of course. We already touched on how dates hold a special significance for the Bedouin people, but it goes beyond that. For example, in some cultures, dates are given as gifts during special occasions or religious holidays. They're seen as a symbol of prosperity, good health, and hospitality.
So it's not just a food, it's a symbol with a deeper meaning.
Exactly. And the addition of butter often elevates this symbolism, adding a layer of richness and indulgence. It's like taking something already special and making it even more meaningful.
It's fascinating how food can be so intertwined with culture and tradition. We're not just nourishing our bodies, we're also connecting with our heritage and expressing our values through the food we choose to eat.
I couldn't agree more. And this brings us to an interesting question that arises from our sources. They suggest that there's a lesson to be learned. from this ancient pairing. When it comes to creating modern-day snacks, what are your thoughts on that?
That's a great point. We're always looking for healthier snack options, but so many of them are filled with processed ingredients and artificial flavors. What if we took inspiration from the simplicity and natural synergy of dates and butter?
Precisely. Imagine energy bars made with whole dates, nuts, seeds, and a touch of natural sweeteners like honey or maple syrup. They'd provide sustained energy, support our overall health, and taste delicious. It would be a return to a simpler, more wholesome approach to snacking.
I love that idea. It's like taking a cue from our ancestors and rediscovering the power of natural ingredients. It's a snack revolution I can definitely get behind. But before we get too carried away with our snack revolution, I'm curious to learn more about the specific nutritional benefits of this dynamic duo. We've touched on them broadly, but I'd love to get a little more granular.
I'm happy to oblige. As we've mentioned, both dates and butter are nutritional powerhouses in their own right. But when combined, their benefits become even more impressive.
Okay, let's break it down. First up, dates. What makes these little gems so special?
Dates are a concentrated source of natural sugars, primarily glucose and fructose. This makes them an ideal snack for a quick burst of energy, especially for athletes or anyone experiencing a midday slump.
They're like nature's energy chews. But I know dates are more than just sugar bombs. They're packed with other good stuff too, right? Like fiber, for instance.
Absolutely. Dates are an excellent source of fiber, which is essential for digestive health. Fiber helps to regulate bowel movements, prevent constipation, and promote a healthy gut microbiome.
So they're helping us stay regular and supporting those good bacteria in our gut. Two birds, one delicious stone fruit. What about vitamins and minerals?
Dates are packed with those, too. They're a good source of potassium, which is essential for regulating blood pressure and muscle function, crucial for athletes to prevent muscle cramps. And let's not forget magnesium. Dates are a good source of that as well. And it plays a role in over 300 bodily functions, everything from muscle and nerve function to blood sugar control and blood pressure regulation.
Magnesium's like the multitasker of the mineral world.
Yeah,
And I know dates also contain iron, right?
that's right. They provide a decent amount of iron, which is essential for red blood cell production and oxygen transport throughout the body.
Okay, so dates are clearly bringing a lot to the table. What about butter? What does it bring to this partnership besides its deliciousness?
Well, butter, especially when sourced from grass-fed cows, is an excellent source of fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamins A, D, E, and K.
And those are the vitamins that need fat to be absorbed, right? That's where this synergy really comes into play.
Exactly. The fat in the butter helps enhance the absorption of those fat-soluble vitamins from the dates. For example, vitamin A, crucial for vision, immune function, and cell growth. And then you have vitamin D, which is essential for bone health, calcium absorption, and immune function.
And I know vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. That helps protect our cells from damage, right?
That's right. And let's not forget vitamin K, which is essential for blood clotting and bone health. So by combining dates and butter, you're essentially creating a nutritional powerhouse that supports a wide range of bodily functions.
This is incredible. It's like a symphony of nutrients working together to keep us healthy. But we've talked a lot about the general benefits. I'd love to circle back to bone health specifically. You mentioned earlier that dates and butter are a winning combination for strong bones. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. This pairing is exceptionally good for bone health, and it all comes down to the synergy of their nutrients. Dates are a good source of calcium and phosphorus, both crucial for building and maintaining strong bones. Calcium, the most abundant mineral in our body, plays a vital role in bone structure, nerve function, and muscle contraction. And then you have phosphorus, which works with calcium to form the mineral structure of bones.
So dates are laying down a solid foundation for strong bones with calcium and phosphorus. But what role does butter play in this bone-building equation?
Well, butter, particularly when sourced from grass-fed cows, is a good source of vitamin D, which we've already established is essential for calcium absorption. Without enough vitamin D, our bodies can't effectively absorb the calcium from the food we eat.
Ah, I see. So the vitamin D in the butter is like a calcium chaperone, ensuring it gets absorbed and used to build strong bones.
That's a great way to put it. The vitamin D helps to escort the calcium from the dates into our bones, maximizing its benefits.
It's amazing. This simple pairing is like a nutritional tag team, working together to keep our bones strong and healthy.
Exactly. And it's a testament to the wisdom of traditional food pairings, which were often based on an understanding of how different foods work together to support our health.
This makes me think about all the other simple, natural food pairings out there that we might have overlooked. Combinations that could be just as beneficial as dates and butter.
I think you're onto something. There's so much to learn from traditional food wisdom. We could spend hours exploring the potential health benefits of different food combinations.
We probably could. But for now, I think we've given our listener plenty to chew on. What other amazing insights do we have in store for them? In our final segment, I feel like we've only just scratched the surface here. There's so much more to discover about this nutritional magic of dates and butter.
You're right. There's always more to explore. And in this final segment, I'd like to highlight one more fascinating aspect of this pairing that's often overlooked.
Oh, okay. I'm all ears. What is it?
Well, we've talked extensively about the physical benefits, but dates and butter also have a positive impact on mental well-being.
Really? I never would have thought about that connection. Tell me more.
For starters, dates are a good source of tryptophan, an amino acid that's a precursor to serotonin, a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in regulating mood, sleep, and appetite.
So eating dates could potentially boost our serotonin levels and make us feel happier.
It's certainly a possibility. And the healthy fats in butter, particularly the omega-3 fatty acids, are also important for brain health and cognitive function.
Omega-3s are those good fats we hear so much about, right?
Right.
The ones that are supposed to be good for our heart and brain.
Exactly. They're essential for maintaining the structure and function of brain cells, and have been linked to improved mood, memory, and focus.
So by combining dates and butter, we're not only nourishing our bodies, but also supporting our mental well-being. It's like a holistic approach to health.
Precisely. And this brings us back to the wisdom of traditional food practices, which often recognize the interconnectedness of food, body, and mind.
It's a reminder that food is more than just fuel. It's medicine, it's culture, it's a source of joy and connection.
I couldn't agree more, and I hope this deep dive has inspired you to explore the world of dates and butter with a newfound appreciation for their remarkable qualities.
I know, I'm definitely looking at this humble pairing in a whole new light. It's amazing how something so simple can be so profound.
And who knows, maybe this is just the beginning of a journey of culinary discovery for our listener. Perhaps they'll be inspired to create their own unique date and butter creations, incorporating new flavors and ingredients.
Right, that's the beauty of this pairing. It's incredibly versatile and adaptable. There's no right or wrong way to enjoy it.
And we encourage our listeners to share their culinary adventures with us. We'd love to hear about their discoveries and be inspired by their creativity.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the world of dates and butter. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling incredibly enlightened, inspired, and yes, a little bit hungry.
As am I. But more importantly, I hope our listener has gained a newfound appreciation for this simple yet extraordinary pairing. It's a testament to the power of nature's bounty and the wisdom of traditional practices.
And it's a reminder that sometimes the most delicious discoveries are the ones that have been right under our noses all along.
Until next time, happy snacking.